1. I just got done driving this Mazda CX90 as a inline-6, phenomenal driving dynamics both in the steering as well as handling department. It is basically like a BMW. Hey guys, welcome to Chris Mack. In this video, I have this 2024 CX90 Mid-Trim Premium Plus. I'm going to show you around this vehicle, show you the various features, take it on a drive, and give you my final verdict. Let's go ahead and get into this video, shall we? Let's go. Looking on the outside of the 2023 Mazda CX90, this is your key fob right here. You do have Mazda inscripted on the back with a lock, unlock, trunk release, as well as panic button at the bottom of the key fob. As equipped, this vehicle is $55,000. This is the Premium Plus trim, non-S, and does have the standard output inline-6 engine. It is dressed in a Rhodium White exterior color with a Napa black interior. Looking at the design of the CX90, you can see you do have full LED lighting up front with your daytime running lights and turn signals right there closer towards the center of the grille with full LED low as well as high beams right there. You do have a 360 camera up front. This does have the full suite of Mazda driver assist safety technology, which we will try on the road. Looking at the wheels, these are 20-inch wheels wrapped in 275 width tires. If you look at this Premium Plus fully loaded S trim right there, it does have 21-inch wheels. You also do have inline-6 badging right there. Mirrors with LED turn signals right there, and you do have your blind spot information. Keyless entry is for the front door handles. Speaking of ground clearance, it does have 8 inches of ground clearance as this one's equipped. If you do get the fully loaded trim, it will be 8.1 inches. Gas tank is on the driver's side as well. Do like how the exhausts are hidden in the back. That is a very nice touch. Give it a very clean design. Coming around to the rear of the CX90, you can see you do have LED tail lights with your turn signals on the outside and your reverse lights right there. This is CX90 all-wheel drive badging. This does have the E-Skyactiv G engine, which stands for a mild hybrid system. The CX90 does have a hybrid trim, as well as this base output inline-6 and a higher output inline-6 version. I do like the more squared off design in the back versus the CX9. It definitely does add a little bit more headroom, which we will try out in the interior in a minute. Let's look at trunk space. Opening the trunk, you will find 15 cubic feet of space behind the third row. And if you do fold down the third row, you'll get 40 cubic feet of space. This does have the captain's chairs. We will take a look at that inside. We love the LED illumination. And you basically use the pull tab to pull the seats forward and back. Over here, you do have a household charging outlet on this side with a 12-volt charger right here on that side. You do have tie downs for your cargo, a little bit of storage on that side. And if you open this right here, you do have a temporary spare tire down below. The tailgate is powered. You can lock the doors as well as close the tailgate by itself right there on that side. But now let me show you guys under the hood of the CX90. As stated a minute ago, this does have 3 options. Does have electronic hood release, as I just heard right now. But this being the base engine of the CX90 has a 3.3 liter turbo inline-6 Skyactiv G technology, which is a mild hybrid system. It produces 280 horsepower with 332 pound-foot of torque. You will get 24 to city, 28 on the highway, and 25 combined. Vehicle weight is 4,700 pounds as this one's equipped. Between this and the fully loaded trim over there, it's about a slight 150 to 200 pound weight difference between both trims. It does go through an 8-speed automatic transmission, very different from other Mazdas which uses a 6-speed automatic. Now, towing capacity of this CX90 is about 5,000 pounds as this one is equipped, and that goes for the majority of the CX90s in the lineup. Now let me show you guys the interior. Those are like Mazda scripted right there in this lovely aluminum trim at the bottom. That is a very nice touch. We're gonna go ahead and head on to the third row. Do like the pass-through right here. Here we go. Once you get settled at 5'6" in the third row, I have about 1 inch of legroom with about an inch and a half of headroom, which is pretty good. You do have USB-C charging ports back here, so you do have pretty good amenities. And some illumination up top. Let's go ahead and hit the second row. Yeah, man, your feet definitely do get a little tight under the seats, but I have to say, this is probably the best seat in the house in the second row. I literally have about 5 inches of legroom with about 2 to 2.5 inches of headroom, which is pretty good. Amenities back here, you do have manual rear window sunshades, and you do have a single zone climate control, so it's 3 zones, 2 up front and 1 out back. You do have 3-stage heated rear seats. If you do go for the fully loaded trim, you will get 3-stage cool seats as well. 2 USB-C ports right here for charging. Storage compartments right there, and the windows are automatic. Do love the trim right here, very nice. All this is soft touch. Does have high-end materials up top. And you do also have a panoramic sunroof. LED illumination is right here. Here's a great look to the front cabin. But let's go ahead and hit the cockpit of the CX90, where all the action happens. Looking at the driver's seat, you do have 8-way power seats up front. One thing I do wish that the CX90 did have was a waterfall cushion, or maybe even like massage if they really wanted to go all the way out. But I also looked at vehicle inside the fully loaded trim, and it didn't have it either. But you do have 2-person memory right here on this side with your tailgate release and a couple shortcut buttons. The iStop is for auto start stop, traction, parking sensors, and you can turn off your driver assistance technology over here on that side. You do also have power folding mirrors, which are very nice. And all the materials are soft touch, just like in the back seats up top right here. But it is kind of hard touch plastic the further you go down. But overall materials are very nice, and I do like the interior. You do have a manual tilt telescoping steering column right there. But I do love these perforated seats right there, with the little like kind of copperish tone right there in the middle of the seat. Stepping into the cockpit of the CX90, the first thing you do notice is the clear, crisp head-up display up top. So you do have your speed, and when you are driving, it will show you your speed limit in the area. And I do like the graphics, is very clear and crisp. But looking at the technology of the CX90, this is the first Mazda to have this full digital dash 12.3-inch display right here in front of you. So you do have your RPMs on that side, and you can put up your various different trip information when hitting the info button right here on the steering wheel. So you got your MPG, driver assistance, heading. You got like a clean display right there, and so on. I think I like this screen right here. You also have your heading information with your speed right there. Now this can't be configured, but honestly I do like it. It's honestly very impressive. Has very clear, crisp graphics. Over here on this side of the steering wheel, you do control your drive assistance technology for your adaptive cruise control. We will try that out on the road, and you can change your radio and voice commands on this side of the steering wheel as well. Clutch illumination is right here. Push button start. I do like how soft the materials are up top. Looking at the infotainment, it is a 12.3-inch display. It does have touch capabilities when you are parked or under 10 miles an hour, when you do have the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto connected. But I do want to start with a quick audio test to see how good the 12-speaker Bose sound system is. That is also one improvement too with the CX90, is that you do have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. But let's try an audio test to see how good the Bose sound system is.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine.
As you can see, the 12-speaker Bose sound system is very clear and crisp. It does have a lot of bass as well as sound quality. Very impressed with that. Going back to your home screen. Hold on one second. Boop. Going back to your home screen, this is basically a display right here. So you do have your various information right there. and entertainment functions right there for your radio. You have AM, FM, Sirius XM radio, and your Bluetooth functions, communications, navigation. And you do have your various different vehicle settings right there. So you can change your displays, as well as the various different information, your sound settings, your driver assistance technology right here. So you can configure all of that. For your cruise control, it'll tell you the speed limit area, and you got your factory functions right there. Parking sensors, and so on. Other vehicle settings are for your paddle shifters right here behind the steering wheel, door functions. It does have rear occupant alert, so let you know if the vehicle, if someone is like in the back seats, and connectivity settings, and so on. And you can go right back to your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But other than that, the screen is honestly very easily used. Has pretty good touch graphics. I keep forgetting you have to be in the CarPlay and Android Auto to actually use the touch capabilities. But looking a little bit more around the interior of the CX90, all this is leather touch materials right here. Has a button is right there in the middle. The materials even up top are just phenomenal. You do have a dual zone climate control right here with a single stage heated steering wheel, 3-stage heated and cooled front seats, and dual zone climate control right here for the front. You can also configure the rear climate controls as well. Down here you do have a 12-volt charger right here, as well as a wireless charging pad down below right here. Over here is your drive mode selector, or In My Drive. So basically you can configure everything. You have a off-road, a normal mode, which is your default, as well as a sport mode. This is your gear shifter right here. You basically use it like kind of like a joystick style. So you go over for reverse. You have a 360 camera with trajectory lines. You can go all the way down the drive, push over for park. You do have hill descent function right there, and then this is your 360 camera function right here. You do have a shortcut button for that. You can change your various different views. Down here is how you can control the infotainment display for this 12-inch display. So you do have a couple of buttons around here. Some more driving functions right here. So you do have auto hold, as well as the automatic parking brake. And then basically these are your shortcut buttons for the infotainment, for your navigation, a back button if you make a mistake, and you can toggle this forward, back, and so on, and push to select. Your radio functions are on this side, and a home button right here to get back to your default screen. Volume controls, as well as track forward and back, and a preset favorite button right there, which you can configure. 2 cup holders on this side, pretty good size. And you do have a center console right here with 2 more USB-C ports. These are just for charging, and it can also be used for connectivity. The glove box is also a pretty good size. And you do have an auto dimming rear view mirror up top with a garage door opener with LED illumination right here, and a sunglass holder. Let's go ahead and open up the panoramic glass roof and let the light engulf the cabin. It is a pretty good size. You can tilt it open and slide it all the way. Very standard, but and you got a visor up top with LED illumination. But let's go ahead and take the CX90 for a quick drive and see how she does. We are behind the wheel of the Mazda CX90. As you see right there, the iStop, also known as Auto Start Stop, just kicked in as we see the stop sign. It is very smooth, quiet, and refined. There is no shakes or rattles or nothing throughout the cabin of the vehicle when that is activated. If you want to deactivate it, it's right here on the side next to the steering wheel. Now, setting off, how is visibility? It is great out the front, as well as out the back, and as well as the side mirrors as well, which are pretty good size. And compared to the CX9, there's definitely a little bit more visibility, as that had a little bit more of a sloped rear. This is actually better. Vehicle length is 200 inches long. It's about 75 to 78 inches wide. The head-up display is very clear and crisp. I do have my speed, and it will also put up a speed limit in the area if we so do choose to have that. But yeah. And the Inline-6 is very smooth. So this does have 332 pound-foot of torque, and you can honestly feel that. You really don't have to rev up the engine, and you can eke out that full 28 mpg on the highway if you do leave it in this normal mode setting. And speaking of drive mode, so you do have 3 modes. You have this, which is normal, and you do have a sport mode and a off-road mode. Driving thus far, the first thing you do notice is how smooth this vehicle is. It's very quiet and refined, and the cabin is hushed with minimal wind noise. Now, when looking at the segments, you got things like the BMW X5, Mercedes GLE, Volvo XC90. It's a whole sea of just vehicles in the segment that you can really match up this vehicle very well with. But a couple things that I do like as we set off is that it does have nice materials. All this is soft touch up top. You only notice like it's slightly harder at the bottom, but other than that, the cabin is very solid. And the Inline-6 has such a good tone. Now, speaking of seat comfort, this is full Nappa leather seats for both the front as well as second row, as well as even third row. And they are very comfortable. You do have heated and cooled front seats for the first row and heated seats in the second row. Oh, next light. Yeah, my bad. I'm getting used to the area, so you know, yeah.
If you want, there's another route that I can take you to as well to get a little bit more of a driving. It's more like back roads, a little bit of back roads, and then stuff like that too.
I'm doing a throw into sport for a minute and see how that is. Do love the graphics in the central display right there. This thing has good handling for how big this vehicle is. Wow. 4,700 pounds. That all-wheel drive is rear bias. You can feel it. And honestly, I'm impressed. And this is the base output engine. Wow. So if you do get the high output, that'll be 340 horsepower, and you don't have that much of a miles per gallon penalty. It's only like, I believe, 1 in the city, but other than that, this Inline-6 is smooth. As we sit behind this truck, let me go ahead and throw in the adaptive cruise control for you guys. So right now we have it set to about 60. around 70-ish. We're gonna cruise behind this Nissan. You have 4 different following distances. And go all the way down to 1. Does a pretty good job of following the vehicle in front of it with the camera up top. Does also have pretty good cabin noise at highway speeds. So the adaptive cruise control works very well. You also have blind spot assist information, so it'll let you know if someone's in your blind spot with lane keeping assist. You can configure all that under your settings. And throwing it back on for a second, you can't see it does keep its lane pretty well. Traffic slows down, it'll slow down. Get up. Drive assistance does work pretty good. I honestly like it. This cluster is really cool right here. This handling around corners is really what impresses me with this CX90. For how big this thing is, 4,700 pounds, 200 inches long, 8 inches off the ground. Has very good turning. This is a quick SUV. Mazda definitely is nailing the sporty end of this vehicle right here. They really are. This is great. Just going around a few corners. This is really a corner car with the way this thing handles. It's definitely closer on like the BMW side. If you talk about like sportiness and agility, it's definitely there. See right there, auto start stop kicks in, no problem at all. Smooth. Let's get a little bit closer. We are going to go ahead and talk about how this vehicle is on a daily basis as far as the technology. Technology is phenomenal. Driver assistance is great. I do also like the amenities. They do get heated and cooled front seats with heated steering wheel, heated back seats. And if you look at a fully loaded Premium Plus with the Turbo S with 340 horsepower to high output, that's about $65,000, $66,000 as that one is equipped, and just has so many features. This thing just pushes. Oh my goodness. Hey, this is honestly impressive. This is also the first Mazda product to incorporate this Inline-6, and I am very excited to see what other models it will make its way into. Who knows, they may do a coupe with the Inline-6. Imagine that. A affordable sporty coupe with this engine. Wow. Now that would be amazing. But I'll be back in a second once that light turns green. This thing just scoots and goes. Look at that. And you do also have paddles behind the wheel too, so you... This thing sounds so good too. I mean, it has a great tone. And this is a luxury vehicle. I can only imagine if they actually like tune this for even more sportiness, how it would behave. And even under 60 miles an hour, the cabin is still hushed and quiet, which is really impressive. Now we do have to try a quick acceleration. And there's 60 right there. Now this is also a real manual mode. It will allow you to bang off the rev limit. It is very engaging. Oh. Wow. You can really feel like handling, though, going around that first corner. Just digs into the road. My goodness. Hello, someone got an M5. Do have to try out one more acceleration. So Mazda says about 6.5 seconds. And if you do, you get about 5.6. You do go for the high output version. This thing really hauls though for being the low output version. This is crazy. This thing handles like it's on rails. I gotta tell you guys, this is phenomenal. Wow. This Inline-6 is so smooth and just pulls. Since we got to open load, let's try one more acceleration. Brake boosted. And 60 miles an hour, this happens in no time. Crazy how an SUV can handle like this. My goodness. I gotta tell you guys, Mazda definitely is doing their thing when it comes to this vehicle. Wow. Has good comfort, has good handling. Basically has it all. And the brakes are pretty solid as well. This has a pretty good bite. 60 miles an hour happens in just no time. Wow. Now, rear bias all-wheel drive, you can really feel it. Just pushes around that corner. You can feel that back end wanting to come around. Alright, let's go. But as we get a little bit closer to the dealership, let me go ahead and get to the conclusion of what I think about this CX90. Performance-wise, it's phenomenal. I mean, going around those back roads in this vehicle just defies logic how big this vehicle is. But definitely for the handling, it is phenomenal. The manual mode is also phenomenal as well. It's very engaging. It'll allow you to bang off the rev limiter. Keep in mind to make sure the power short shift around like 5,500 RPM to be right in the meat of that power band. Other than that, though, the head-up display is clear and crisp. The adaptive cruise control is easy to use. You see right there, you can just put it on, no problem at all. Lane keeping assist is phenomenal as well. Overall, the CX90 is very impressive for what it's offering. Now, I have to say, though, this is going to be an amazing vehicle. I can see them selling a ton of these. Also do have the full suite. Let me show you guys the camera. 360 camera right there is very clear and crisp and does have phenomenal quality. Now, if you do want wood trim on the interior, you have to go for the Premium Plus with the high output version, and I'll really add a little bit more like uniqueness inside of the cabin. So you do have like suede materials right there with the wood trim. Just looks phenomenal. It's a very stunning interior design. I also love this 12.3 inch display right here. It's very clear, crisp, has very good graphics, and provides a lot of information. But that is going to wrap up this video. Please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn notifications. This is Chris signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.